what if this is some kind of cosmic prank? They won't even entertain other options. We're backing him. We're not listening to anyone else. I don't understand that. Where's the reasonable accommodation for the normal people in Halton?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to know if this teacher says that he suffers from gender dysphoria. I haven't even heard that. Everyone's making the assumption that it's a trans individual.
Why did you never correct the record that Mr. Hanna was not the person? Why did you not correct that when I asked you directly and sent you a written email? Excuse me, I've got a question. For 5 days, the Lemieux story... No, you're out of order. The Lemieux story was in the news cycle for 5 days, and it was misreported that Mr. Hanna was the same person, and you never corrected the record. David Menzies for Rebel News here at the Halton District School Board in Burlington, Ontario. Well, folks, what can I say? We have been thrown out of the school board trustees meeting. My crime? Well, not violence, unless you consider insensitive questions violence. Lincoln J. and I came here to get the officials on the record for two things. One, why are they accommodating Mr. Lemieux with that grotesque parody of a woman he has become, breaking the dress code and breaking the workshop safety rules? And just as importantly, for 5 days, this story was in the international news cycle. And it was repeatedly misreported that another teacher, Mr. Hanna, was the same as Mr. Lemieux. And these people here, the Director of Education, Mr. Innes, he, him, Dr. Shuttleworth, one of the trustees, the Communications Director that does not communicate, that would be Heather Francie, Jackie Noon, and even the school itself. I'd put my questions in writing, in emails, phone calls, and even an in-person interview here on Monday with Mr. Innes, he, him. Not once did they correct the record that Hanna and Lemieux were two different people. And I feel really horrible that Mr. Hanna had to suffer that kind of misidentification, but it was completely correctable. They didn't correct it until late Monday night. Are you as fed up as I am when it comes to the people who are running the Halton District School Board? Then voice your opinion. Sign our petition at nofetishteachers.com. Let's demand that HDSB teachers follow the HDSB dress code and adhere to the safety rules in workshop class. As well, let's advocate that the trustees at the HDSB and the Director of Education, Curtis Ennis, he, him, resign immediately. Not only are they allowing a grotesque spectacle to play out at Oakville Trafalgar High School, but they even threw an innocent teacher under the bus when these people purposefully refused to correct misinformation that was circulating for several days in international news regarding an innocent teacher who was not the same person as Mr. Kerry Look Lemieux. Please note, when you go to nofetishteachers.com, we have provided email links for all the HDSB trustees. You can email them directly and give them a piece of your mind. So please, once again, sign our petition at nofetishteachers.com. That's nofetishteachers.com. Let the educrats at the HDSB know that their egregious behavior is completely unacceptable. By the way, folks, as a bizarre little sidebar, you would expect that there would be throngs of parents champing at the bit to come on camera and voice their displeasure. There were some parents, concerned parents here. All except one declined to be interviewed. I spoke to Steve, a father of two young girls in the Halton District School Board region. Here's what Steve had to say.
I think it's ridiculous. Talking to a lot of people about different sorts of woke ideologies that we see in the board, there's some people that agree with you on some things, some people that agree with you that don't agree with you. But this is a bipartisan issue too. Based on political party, it doesn't matter. Everyone is outraged.
What if this is some kind of cosmic prank? They won't even entertain other options. We're backing him. We're not listening to anyone else. I don't understand that. Where's the reasonable accommodation for the normal people in Halton?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to know if this teacher says that he suffers from gender dysphoria. I haven't even heard that. Everyone's making the assumption that it's a trans individual, but just because you dress the way that this individual doesn't mean that you're trans. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're gender dysphoric. I think we have to keep digging. That's why I decided to show up tonight. It's not an agenda item tonight, so I don't believe that we're going to get any answers, but I was hoping that a lot of people would show up here tonight just to send a message to the board that we disapprove of the stance that they've taken on this. There's obviously a lot of people who are like-minded, but they're not here for a variety of reasons. I can't say exactly why that is. Some are scared. Some people think that other people are going to do it for them. Some people are apathetic and think that they can't change it.
In any event, I brought up the question, and guess what? I was out of order by one of the disinformation specialists. That would be Dr. Shuttleworth. Check out the video. Why did you never correct the record that Mr. Hanna was not the person? Why did you not correct that when I asked you directly and sent you a written email?
Presented by noon, 2 days prior to the board meeting. Requests for delegation can be submitted through the HDSB website. I do want to emphasize that visitors and media
maturing and a sense of accomplishment in our students. As they went out to work each day, our students and the staff working with them were welcomed into a variety of departments throughout the hospital. This included the ones on your screen.
Excuse me, I've got a question. For 5 days, the Lemieux story... No, you're out of order.
This is your warning.
The Lemieux story was in the news cycle for 5 days, and it was misreported that Mr. Hanna was the same person, and you never corrected the record. You, Mr. Innes, he, him, you, Dr. Shuttleworth, Heather Francie, a communications director who doesn't communicate, not until Monday night, 10:18 p.m. to be precise, did you correct that. Why did you throw Mr. Hanna under the bus? Why did you allow that teacher to be defamed?
I think that deserves an answer. That teacher was harassed for no reason.
Are you lazy? Are you incompetent? Or are you malicious? Were you deliberately trying to have the media get it wrong? Come on, Miss Francie, you're a communications director. Why don't you communicate? Cat got your tongue? Look at you cowards. Running away. This is the story all over the world. The freak show going on at Oakville Trafalgar High School, and yet you won't even address it. Does anyone want to talk about this? What did you have against Mr. Hanna? Why did you defame him? Why did you slander him? In writing and in emails and in personal interviews, it was mentioned over and over, Mr. Hanna was the same as Mr. Lemieux. You knew that wasn't true, and you didn't correct the record. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe this? The whole board has run away. I guess I'm weaponized, not with a knife or a gun or anything like that. I guess with impolite questions. But that is the nub of the matter. For at least 5 days, this story about Mr. Lemieux going to school with those enormous, grotesque, prosthetic breasts was in the world media. And that's bad enough. But the fact that Mr. Hanna, who I understand is a good man and a good teacher, was misidentified as Mr. Lemieux, and these bureaucrats, these educrats, never corrected the record. They threw one of their own teachers under the bus. And what was the agenda there? I've asked them over and over and over again, and they will not answer the question. I think we deserve an answer. They work for us. They work for these people here in this gallery. And look at the disrespect. Just because this is a sensitive issue in their minds, they will not provide answers. Absolutely brutal. Well, we'll just wait till they come back. I got all night. They're not coming back?
You can just leave the building, please.
Oh, who are you, sir?
I'm asking you to leave the building now.
But who are you?
Security.
Oh, can I see your security license, please?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you have to show it to me. You could be Joe Blow for as far as I know.
Well, I'm not Joe Blow.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Well, we've been asked to leave the building by a security guard, and we will comply.
Thank you very much.
And I guess this is how they do business at the Halton District School Board. This is an absolute disgrace on both levels. The fact that this grotesque parody of a man pretending to be a woman is being allowed to teach, breaking the dress code, breaking the safety rules of the workshop, and the fact that they threw an innocent teacher under the bus. They did not correct the record for 5 days. Absolutely disgraceful. We will continue to follow this story. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, are you tired of the nonsense happening at Oakville Trafalgar High School? Then please go to nofetishteachers.com. That's nofetishteachers.com. Sign our petition, and hey, we've even provided email links to trustees. Give them a piece of your mind.